Fargo Public School students head back to class tomorrow already. And we have Superintendent Dr. Rupak Gandhi joining us once again today to talk about some of the things that are new. Because we had you on last week and we were just talking all face masks. And nothing has changed. Face masks still required. There will be an ongoing discussion and conversation on, COVID as the year goes on, correct?
Correct. Nothing's changed for us since last week.
Since last week.
Yep.
But I feel like we didn't get to talk about some of the other cool, great things that are going on within the Fargo School District. So we wanted to have you back on. And one that we've been talking about a lot in the newsroom because everyone's getting used to a new name. Can you talk a little bit about the renaming of Woodrow Wilson High School to Dakota High School?
Yeah, starting this year, tomorrow. The school formerly known as Woodrow Wilson will now be Dakota High School. Our board and our community went through a very rigorous process last year that was not only just a great process to go through to talk about renaming and developing standards on how we consider school names, but also just an educational experience as well. And very exciting through that process. We now have Dakota High School as the name of our alternative high school here in Fargo Public Schools, and they will be the Meadowlarks. And our students worked with our graphic designer and the administration and the community to develop the Meadowlark logo and just launch a new name, and it's really exciting.
It is. It really is exciting. It's kind of a brand new era for that school as well. Another cool thing that was very visual, a lot of people kind of watched the whole process. Can we talk a little bit about the new artificial turf at Davies?
We are extremely excited about the turf field at Davies, and that really is a product of just our community and our community support. And we are really been blessed in Fargo Public Schools, where Davies is now our third high school that has turf, and it's all a product of community giving. So it started with South. We had generous donors help us with a turf field at South that led to some fundraising efforts in North High School, followed by Davies High School. So now to see that all three of our comprehensive high schools have a turf field, which, as we know, has so many benefits, from not only having to not reschedule games when you have a rough weather night like we did last night, to just more multifunction use for both soccer and football, and just longer term impacts on being better for student needs. We're very excited, and we're actually doing a groundbreaking ceremony. It's not a groundbreaking ceremony, a dedication ceremony on Friday at their first game at halftime. So if you can come out and watch the Davies football game, you'll get to see the great new turf and be part of that ceremony as well.
Oh, Friday night football.
Friday night football, that's what back to school is.
That is what back to school is all about. Okay, first day of school tomorrow and already Friday night football this Friday. Well, that'll be fun to go and see. I love that. Okay, going back to the younger kids once again, maybe the Explorer Academy. Can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, we are extremely excited about the Explorer Academy. The Explorer Academy will serve as the first Setting D school or program for a public school in the state of North Dakota. And what that really means, it's a very unique school that provides a specialized environment to make sure that all of our students can function on grade level and work on progressing towards their IEP goals. So it is a school or a program where students have to qualify based on their special education team, which is called the IEP team. They qualify for a set of services, but we offer so many different unique opportunities for students. Students that may somehow have a disability that can trigger behavior or trigger a lack of attention in a traditional environment, we've modified the environment. So the school is based on LED lighting, a lot of natural lights. We've reduced stimuli that could be a trigger for students. And then what we're most excited about are really two significant partnerships. One is with TNT Kids Fitness. They have probably one of the largest sensory gyms around our state that's going to be located at that site. They do so much work with movement therapy and deregulation for students. So I really think it's going to be a crown jewel of a set of services that we can provide for our students that really have that need in Fargo Public Schools, and we're excited about that.
If parents at home are thinking maybe my child needs more, how do they find more information?
It really is to be in that program. It's a set of services that we offer through the special education program. So I would say work with their special education case manager or their IEP team.
Okay. And I was also asking you about this in the break. Free breakfast and lunch meals for all students. COVID, everybody was all shook up, when kids were home and parents weren't working. So this started during COVID, but it will continue for a while.
It will continue at least for one more year, and that's something that we are extremely grateful for. I'm going into my fourth year as a superintendent in Fargo, and in my first year, our community just stepped up and really showed a dedication to making sure that we don't want to increase lunch debt for families in Fargo Public Schools. And we had a lunch aid effort that was really saying, hey, we want to support the school district and our families that are accruing lunch debt. And then since then, with the impact of COVID-19 federally, we have had the opportunity to provide one free breakfast and one free lunch meal for students. That's going to continue for one more year, and that's just a great benefit. You know, it really is one less thing that we have to worry about as a school district or families have to worry about. So I'm just extremely proud that we can provide that opportunity.
I agree. Yeah, one less thing for parents to worry about.
Exactly.
I mean, the school district too, but the kids definitely. Okay, before we let you go, I wanted to ask this too, because we talked a lot about COVID relief and, you know, with the free breakfast and lunch. And I know last time you were on, we talked about air purification systems that were put into schools, a great use of the COVID relief money. But I imagine there's still money left, and there's some wish lists. What are some of the things you're hoping this money will be used for?
You know, fundamentally, the biggest thing we want to use the money for is learning loss. So this year we are investing in several things across our district to help with learning loss. On the academic side of the house, we are focusing on the opportunity to hire some personnel, whether they're retired teachers or other individuals, to do more small group instruction, more interventions with students, so we can really expand those specialized services to catch students up and meet students where they are. We're also focusing on the whole child. So I think social emotional learning is huge for us in Fargo Public Schools. So we've hired 2 restorative justice coordinators. We're going to be working a lot with attendance specialists to tackle chronic absenteeism, which has a direct impact on student achievement as well. So we have a wide variety of things, and we are really fortunate in Fargo that most of the federal release dollars were intended to make sure that schools can return to in-person instruction this fall. We were able to do that successfully last fall with the mitigation strategies that we had in place. So we're now able to pivot and use those dollars to target learning loss, to catch up some of the students that may have been impacted as a result of just the variance in instructional models that we had last year.
As a parent, that's exactly what I want to hear. So battling learning loss, that's going to be a process for a while here, I think, as well. Dr. Gandhi, thank you so much for coming in today, and good luck tomorrow on the first day of school.
Thank you very much.
All right, stay with us. Coming up next, clearing the air. We're going to talk a little bit more about air purification systems, just like what Fargo Schools put in. Stay with us.